Hi, it's Anton here from Perth Gardens, and I'm doing a review on this new Ego 30cm cordless brush cutter, the BC3802E model. And this is one that I've been looking forward to reviewing. I can't wait to test this out because it's got a few features which are going to suit me really nicely. It's got the handlebars, or some people call them bull handles. It's a brush cutter with a blade combined with a changeable head that can be a line trimmer, and that's the thing that I will probably use the most on this, and also a powerful electric motor. I think it's a 2000 watt motor, and it comes with a 5 amp hour battery and rapid charger. So the combination of those things I reckon is going to give this a lot of power and will be really useful for a commercial situation, and for some home users who've got big yards to do a lot of trimming on. So I'm going to have a look in the box and see what comes in the kit. Okay, so we've got a 56 volt rapid charger, and that, just from reading on the box, that will charge the 5 amp hour battery in 40 minutes, and the battery, I believe, lasts for 40 minutes as well, so that's pretty good turnaround time. This is a great charger, and if you've got more than one of the tools in this kit, having another one of these, or if it's your first one of the rapid chargers, that's a big step up from the regular charger. It's got a harness which you need for whenever you're using a brush cutter with the handlebars, and you're using any whippersnipper for an extended period of time. Having a harness is it just removes that load, so you can use it for hours if you need to. There's the tool itself, which has the line trimmer attachment on it at the moment, and that's a bump feed head on it with a flat surface, which is really nice, and it's a speed load as well, which I'll show you the loading of later on. Comes loaded with some line there. It looks like fairly thin line. I think that can be upgraded to a thicker line, which is what I would be doing. I'd be putting that up to a 2.7 millimeter line if I can. Hang on. There's the 5 amp hour battery that it comes with. Big battery, interchangeable with all of the other tools as well, and this would be able to use both the smaller 2.5 amp hour batteries, the 4 amp hour, and there's the lawnmower, I think, uses a 7.5 amp hour battery. So I don't think there'd be any reason why this tool couldn't use any of those batteries, and also this battery couldn't be used on any of the other tools as well. Some tools in the kit for adjusting and removing the head. And somewhere in here, okay, here we go, there's the brush cutter blade. Alright, so that's what's in the box. Some instructions as well. We'll stop it for now. I'll go and use this for a bit of time and come back and talk about what it's like to use, and show you some demonstration videos as well. Okay, I'll just show you quickly how you reload the rapid load head on this. So you take about 3 meters of line. I'm using 2.4 millimeter line here, which is a little bit thinner than I would normally use. I think I can go up to 2.7 millimeter for this head, but this will be fine. So you see on the head here, there's a little green line. We just need to line up the green line here with the green line on the bottom part. When we get that perfectly lined up, then this should thread straight through. And it does. And then we just pull it through so that it's even. Grab the two ends and then twist it. And then it's reloaded. So there's a good few hours of line there, reloaded in what, under a minute. When you bump feed it, more comes out, and as it's spinning, it goes past the blade here and cuts it to size if you've bumped out too much of the line. So that's the bump feed rapid load head. Okay, so I need to do some brush cutting now, and I want to change the line trimming head to the brush cutting blade, and so I'll do that now. It's a pretty simple process. Take off the cap, use the Allen key that comes with the tools. And that fits into a locking slot at the side. And use the larger end of the socket wrench and undo it. You just got to remember that undoing the nut on this is the opposite direction than you normally loosen a nut. Okay, that's off. Just keep the parts. And that just slips off. Keep the other parts on here. There's the brush cutter blade. Put it on. And this bit. And the nut. Just tighten it up a little bit by hand first. Tighten it up. It can be quicker than this. I just dropped a couple of tools, and that's just because of the way I've got this set up for filming. It's a little bit awkward. But anyway, it's not a hard job to do. And now I'm set up, ready to do some brush cutting. So now that I've shown you a couple of videos of the tool in use, both the line trimmer and the brush cutter, I want to give you some context for how I'm judging this tool for appropriateness in a commercial gardening environment. So this is the sort of petrol whipper snipper that I've been used to using. So you can see it's got the handlebars, straight shaft, a bump feed head on the end which turns anti-clockwise, and a decent size motor on it. Now the first Ego line trimmer that I bought when I was starting to replace my petrol tools was this one here, and this, I've given it a good shot, but it's not appropriate for my situation. That doesn't mean it's not right for other people or home users, but for me, it's so different from what I'm used to. It has a D handle, the head rotates clockwise rather than anti-clockwise, and it's just very different. Then I got the multi-tool. And the multi-tool has a line trimmer attachment on it, and that's a big improvement on this one for my situation. It has an anti-clockwise rotating head, still the straight shaft, but it has a D handle like the other one, so that's still not quite right for me, but I'll occasionally use that when we need to get into tight places. By the way, you can see the actual length of these straight shafts is very similar to the petrol tool that I'm used to. Now this is the tool that I'm reviewing here, and this one has everything that I'm looking for as a replacement for my petrol tools. It has the straight shaft, it has the handlebars or bull handles, has anti-clockwise rotating head, and it has the harness. Okay, so this is the harness that comes with the Brushcutter kit. It's adequate for what you need. It's not my favorite part of the kit though. The other harnesses I've been used to have got a bit more padding and perhaps a bit more durability, but that's about the only thing that I don't love about this. Clips on easily though. Two easy adjustments to adjust the height on your shoulders, and two adjustments to get it in firm around your body, and the protector there should just sit around your hip. Alright, so one of the things I like about this harness is that it's very easy to clip on. It's basically a one-handed operation, and it just, with the weight of the battery and the tool, clicks right on. And then the harness, or any harness, lets you take the weight through your shoulders, and it makes it very comfortable to use for a long period of time. The way they've designed this tool with the 5 amp hour battery, it's perfectly balanced. That changes if you use one of the smaller capacity batteries or one of the bigger capacity batteries, but with the 5 amp hour battery that the tool comes with, it's perfect. Now everything else in terms of layout here is ergonomically designed. The handles can be adjusted to move forwards or back. The speed control is where you would expect it to be, and it feels comfortable to use. It has a safety switch which you have to press with your palm in order to be able to start the tool, and it also has a mechanical speed control here, which if you have it all the way up, it will lock the tool off so it can't be accidentally started. And then you can set a maximum speed using this control here, just to make it easier for when you're doing lower speed work, or you want the battery to last longer. So when making a judgment about this tool and deciding whether it's appropriate for a commercial gardening sort of situation, you need to consider what the use of the tool will be. And in my case, you know, I might use it for several 5 to 10 minute cleanups of lawn edges, or I might use it for an hour or more of slashing of long grass. And this, with the big battery, you know, the harness, the handlebars, all of that stuff, will let me do 90% or more of my whippersnippering jobs on a single battery. So I don't need to change the battery, and that's fine. And if I do occasionally have a really long job, I can change the battery, and 2 batteries will get the job done. The head on this that comes with the line trimmer is a bump feed head, and that's incredibly useful to keep your line at the right length as you're using it, and it just takes a bump on the ground to put out a new section of line. Then it has a blade on the guard which will cut that line to the right length. The tool also comes with a brush cutter attachment for doing heavier trimming, which you saw in the videos that I showed before. Okay, so I think that there's 4 criteria that we need to judge this tool on to decide whether it's a worthy replacement for a petrol tool, and that's features. And as I've gone through some of those features, I think this stacks up perfectly fine with a equivalent sort of petrol tool. As far as I'm concerned, I'm quite happy as far as the features go. It's comfortable, it cuts well, all of that, it's fine. The next criteria is cost. And there's upfront cost, and then there's running costs. Upfront cost, it's about the same, perhaps slightly more expensive than the equivalent petrol tool, but that's more than made up for by the ongoing running costs. By my rough calculations, it's about half the price per hour of running time for the Ego tool compared to a petrol tool. And that's taking into account all of the consumables like spark plugs, petrol, filters and all of that kind of thing that you get with petrol tools, and replacing batteries and stuff like that, and charging batteries that you get with the battery powered tools. So those savings are not a major factor for me, but if you're doing a lot of line trimming and using these tools for hundreds of hours, it might be a factor for you. The next thing is reliability. Now, when you're relying on these tools for your living, to earn your money, then you need to be certain that the tool is going to start first time when you want it to start. You need to know that it's going to run as long as you need it to run, and you need to be able to throw it onto your work vehicle and not be worried about it getting easily damaged in among all of the other tools. So I leave this line trimmer on the back of my ute. It gets the sun on it, it gets the rain on it, and there's no problems with that that I've seen so far. I leave my lawnmower out in the back of my ute as well. It's not covered up. I wash it off with water, even though they don't recommend you wash these tools with water, but there's no problems with that. So it's well built, it seems robust, and it's perfectly reliable. As long as you get your batteries sorted out and you have enough batteries to last your day, or you have a good charging solution set up, then you can rely on this tool to get you through your work day. The last criteria I think to judge this on is usability. How does it feel? Is it comfortable to use? Does it do a quality job? And this absolutely does. It's got a powerful motor which lets it drive the cutting head at a fast enough speed that it does nice clean cutting. It's comfortable, as I've said. It sits nicely on the harness. It's perfectly balanced, and it's just very comfortable to use. So with all of those criteria, this is the tool that I've been looking for to replace my petrol whippersnipper, and I'm happy to keep on using it. Okay. So all those features that I've talked about, the most important features of all with these Ego battery powered tools is a couple of features that no petrol tool can compete with. And that's the fact that there's zero pollution and there's very little noise. So those two factors, you know, when everything else is equal between this and a petrol tool, that makes the battery powered tool the clear winner. If I can use this tool without needing earmuffs, that improves my comfort while I'm using the tool. It also improves the satisfaction of my clients, because they don't need to listen to a loud whippersnipper being used while I'm working. So that's the noise factor. It's nicer to use and nicer to have being used in your neighborhood. The zero pollution thing, it's great for the environment obviously, but it's also nice to use. And I don't need to be surrounded by the exhaust smoke coming out of a two-stroke engine, and I don't need to worry about a hot engine burning me while I'm putting it back onto the vehicle. So all of those things, apart from everything else, those are the best things about this tool and all of the Ego electric tools. So that's the end of this review for the new Ego brush cutter with the handlebars. And if you like this video, subscribe, and I'll have more reviews for you soon.